very good evening, viewers. You're tuned into Mirror now. This is South Speaks. We talk about the top story today. Calls for creating new Deputy Chief Minister posts in Karnataka have resurfaced within the ruling Congress, following its underwhelming performance in the recently held Lok Sabha elections. Securing only 9 out of the 28 seats now, Minister Satish Jarkiholy, K.N. Rajanna and BZ Zamir Ahmad have publicly voiced their support for community-specific Deputy Chief Minister positions, aiming to really bolster the party's electoral appeal. Jarkiholy and Rajanna represent the scheduled tribes, while Zamir Ahmad Khan, of course, has advocated for a Deputy Chief Minister post from the Muslim community. So let's listen to what their demands initially were.
ಸಮಾಜದ ಬೇಡಿಕೆ ಇದೆ. ಸಮಾಜ ಕೇಳೋದು ತಪ್ಪೇನು? ನಮ್ಮ ಪಕ್ಷ ಏನು ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಪಕ್ಷ, ನಾವು ಬೇಡಿಕೆ ಕೇಳೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ತಪ್ಪೇನಿಲ್ಲ. ಕೊಡೋರು ಯಾರು? ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್.
ತೀರ್ಮಾನಗಳು ಬೇಗ ಬೇಗ ಆಗದೆ ಹೋದರೆ ಸಮುದಾಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಸಮಾಧಾನ ಶುರುವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವುದೋ ಆಂತರಿಕ ಇದನ್ನು ಶುರುವಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಸಮಾಧಾನಗಳು.
ಬೇಡಿಕೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
Meanwhile, within the Congress, some leaders like Minister Priyank Kharge don't seem to be very enthusiastic about the idea, stating that while everyone has a right to really put forth their demands, it's important to think if such a move will really please communities is the question that he's asking.
ಕೂಡ ಹಕ್ಕಿದೆ ಕೇಳೋದು. ಹೋಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಹತ್ರ ಕೇಳಬಾರ್ದಂತ ಯಾರ್ದು ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ DCM ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದಾನೇ ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದಿದ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ CM ಒಬ್ರು ಇರಲಿ, ಇಡೀ ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನೆಟ್ DCM ಆಗಿಬಿಡ್ಲಿ, ಆಗುತ್ತಾ? ಆಮೇಲೆ DCM ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸಮುದಾಯಗಳು ಓಲೈಕೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆ ಒಂದು ಸೈಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದಿದ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಇದೇ ರಣತಂತ್ರ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮ ಕೆಲಸ ಏನು ಸರ್? ಈಗ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಚುನಾವಣೆ ಆಗಿದೆ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು 4-5 ಸೀಟ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಆತ್ಮಾವಲೋಕನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ನಾವು ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿದೀವ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಪಕ್ಷದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಅಧಿಕಾರ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೀವ ಇಲ್ಲ.
No, it is, see, very personal. In our party, the High Command decides, and I don't think there's anything like that. It's his pleasure. They might be talking, but party has nothing like that in front of the party as such. So we are all going together, and it's all, we are united. There is no issues at all about that.
Sir, BJP today protested against emergency, saying it's a black day, and Rahul Gandhi should apologize.
For what?
For the emergency imposed by Indira Gandhi.
They do all such kind of things. And how many things have they any time apologized for? Whatever they have done in the past, have they done it? And who are they asking now? It's all just for a gimmick. It is just a political thing and nothing like that.
In contrast, the Bharatiya Janata Party leaders have seized the moment to really highlight Congress's internal discord. Ashwath Narayan accused the Congress of prioritizing power over governance, while Chaluvadi Narayana Swamy has mocked infighting, suggesting that Karnataka is really suffering due to these internal conflicts within the Congress party.
Congress party has been fighting for power. They don't work for people. Whenever they've been given an opportunity, they just work for themselves. There'll be always a fight for power, position. So probably the Congress party, from the day it has assumed office, this is what we have been hearing. How many deputy chief minister, every month one chief minister, rotation of chief minister. This is how the things are going on.
Between the leaders of the Congress party, let they do all 34 DCMs. We don't bother. But this government is not doing well. Say they are not doing any developmental work. As well, guarantees have been failed, and this government is useless government. So people are decided to bring down this government.
So let's open this up to our panel today. Anand Gurumurthy of the BJP is with us. We have Anurag Naidu, author and political analyst. Nizam Foujdar of the Congress party is also joining us today. Vijay Grover, senior journalist, with us. So firstly, taking this across to Mr. Foujdar, because this is seems like a Congress issue at this point in time. The BJP says it's an issue now for the state to deal with. Mr. Foujdar, you know, we've seen in the past as well, not just in Karnataka. In Karnataka too, under the BJP, we saw 3. And in other parts of the country, we've seen multiple, even more than 3 deputy chief ministers. Do you think that's the way forward here in the state? Or do you feel that will really hurt the fragile egos of a few leaders, because there was initially a little bit of an issue when the government was formed in Karnataka. There was a question mark that was raised: who is going to be the chief minister? It seemed like somewhere the deputy chief minister, the current deputy chief minister, was placated by making him KPCC president, or him continuing to be KPCC president and making him deputy chief minister. Now with this demand coming, do you feel that the entire dynamic changes, or can the AICC even consider it?
The party has a clear line, and I don't think so we can cross that line in the kind of decisions the party has taken. When it comes to governance, I think the Karnataka government is one of the best government as of now. The kind of promises we gave, the kind of guarantees that we gave, we have implemented. Now the BJP can cry, hue and cry, and they can, say various things, but the BJP has no moral stand to say a single word. Now let me come back to the DCM and the CM part. I think the party has a very clear line, and it will the high command is normally the one who takes the decision. I think you spoke to a lot of leaders. I was just listening to them now. I think it is very clear. I don't think so we need to discuss, have a debate, or we need to even say whether it is possible, not possible. When the time comes, things will happen. I don't think so the government is doing really well. Mr. Siddaramaiah is a very tall leader. He's doing a great job. Mr. DK Shivakumar, who is the DCM, as well as the KPCC president, I think they're doing fabulous job. And I don't really think that we need to really work around anywhere. When it comes to any expansion, the high command is the only, the power center which will take the decision. Until then, let's wait. Let the governance go on. Let the people be happy. And I don't think so BJP needs to have a fun about, Begani Shadi mein Abdullah Diwana. Zarurat nahi hai. I think the BJP can rest for the next 5 years and think what they need to do with their dirty tricks and the dirty politics.
Okay, Mr. Foujdar believes, Mr. Gurumurthy, that you have no business in really meddling with the Congress's internal affairs, and governance-wise, they are one of the best in the country. Mr. Murthy.
Oh, yeah. They have to tell that. Okay. But let me tell you one thing. If it was,
I understand.
Yeah, 1 second, Nizam. I'll answer. Then you might come back.
Issue that you can speak about Congress government.
No, just give
me a chance,
the kind
Nizam,
of
3 lakh crores of debt that you have taken in the last 3 years has actually brought down the Karnataka's development and the growth to the ground. And I think
Mr. Foujdar, he allowed you to complete. Let's allow him to speak, and then you can counter him again. Let's not speak over each other. It creates a lot of disturbance. The viewers are not able to understand the point. So let him make his point. You come back after that. Mr. Gurumurthy, go ahead.
Now, Congress always has this way of tackling things in the most worst way for the people. They will ensure that there is a cat among the pigeons, and then, people get confused at what is happening, and they won't solve the issue. I would urge Congress government, which, led by Mr. Siddaramaiah, and one deputy CM, Mr. Shivakumar, who is also the KPCC president. They are both from South Karnataka. So let them give one deputy CM from Mumbai, Karnataka, one from Hyderabad, Karnataka side, one from Bangalore side. Why can't they do that? Why can't they create an environment where more number of people get engaged with people in a bigger post? They won't do that because they are not here to serve the people. They are here just to divide people based on caste, and then, throw cat among the pigeons, and again come back saying that we did this, we did that, and, take money from the taxpayers' money and just redistribute to a few people, not give it to the actual person who needs it. And finally, at the end of the day, claim that we have done a great governance, great administration when murders are happening on streets, when people are talking about, law and order problem, when people are talking about water scarcity, when people are talking about electricity grid failing everywhere, they come here.
Mr. Anand Gurumurthy, I have a few questions to some of the points you made. Mr. Foujdar can comment, but before that, I have a few questions. You said let them give a person from Mumbai, Karnataka, Hyderabad, Karnataka, probably make them deputy chief ministers. What's your rationale behind this?
See, basically, our state, as we are going further, okay, and we have also been in governance, what we see is, as we take up this digital governance in a bigger way, we can serve the people in a bigger way if we have more number of hands who are, empowered, just like the CM. Okay, so always there's a cry saying that we are not heard by the CM. Instead of that,
But
if
you
they have a
you
little
very
bit
well
of,
know,
you know,
Mr. Anand Gurumurthy, you very well know that, as far as the Deputy Chief Minister does not enjoy the powers of a Chief Minister.
he does not enjoy. But
During the
he will
BJP
be the
regime, you had
decision
multiple
maker from
Deputy
region.
Chief Ministers from various parts
No,
of
no,
the
he-
state.
he- No, no, no.
Did that help the BJP in any manner? Did that help
No, no, no.
governance in any
It
manner
will help
different
the
from
governance.
what you're expecting
Deepak,
the Congress to do?
No, 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 Deepak, it will help governance model if the deputy CM who is selected, okay, from that region is
I have
acceptable
a
to 5 to 6
proposal,
districts.
Deepak. I have a
And they
wonderful
come up with
proposal.
proper plans. For example, we had deputy CMs from Hyderabad, Karnataka region. And that's when a road from Chennai to Gujarat was taken up. Okay, now that passes through Bidar. Okay, which helps not only our state, but even Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and see,
But how
all
are you
these
saying
decisions
the
have to
Deputy Chief
happen.
Minister's position makes these things happen?
Yeah,
Being in the cabinet as well, you can
push.
push for it. Being an MLA as well, you can push for these things.
Yes, no, Deepak. See, what happens is when it caters to more than 5 or 6 districts, the cooperatives, all these things, can be collaborated by giving a region to a deputy CM and taking up. Okay, see, this is very important. For example, why is Mr. DK Shivakumar so interested in brand Bangalore? See, if he has taken up something, he has something
This is a
regional in
new
that,
definition,
okay?
Mr. Anand Gurumurthy, to the Deputy Chief Minister's role that you're giving. We have not heard of something like this. Neither has the BJP done something like
this
this.
can happen.
Let me also bring in
Deepak,
Anurag Naidu here.
Constitution doesn't
Anurag,
have
how do you
to
really view
If they are
this?
just doing
Deepak,
cash-based politics, if they're really interested in regional
Anurag Naidu, come in.
then they can do
Anurag
all this.
Naidu.
But if they're only interested in cash-based politics,
Okay,
and
Mr.
then
Gurumurthy,
confusing
we heard your point.
That is what
Let
they're
others
doing.
as well bring in their perspectives. Let others come in as well, Mr. Anand Gurumurthy. Let others come in. Let Anurag come in. Let's see what he has to say regarding this.
Yeah, Deepak, I think, like the Congress spokesperson mentioned, I don't think we can brush off this comments which are made in public, Deepak. These 3 people are respected ministers in the cabinet, right? So they're not some spokesperson or some corporators of Congress making some opinion, right? So I think if it is coming from these leaders who have been multiple times legislators, who've been senior leaders of the Congress, I think that the demand has to have some weight. I think, like the Congress spokesperson is rubbishing it off, I don't think that it goes so simple. And also, let's not downplay this hectic parlay that happened, Deepak, when we remember about the government formation. For days, multiple days, there were hectic parlays in Delhi for the post of deputy chief minister. This is all in public domain. The demand is very legitimate, Deepak.
Yeah.
What happens is, when you give a deputy chief minister from a particular region, like Anand was also trying to articulate, it is connected to the identity of that region, right? So you have that, so the region feels more value. Now you have 2 leaders only coming from the South Karnataka. You know that there's been a conventional issue of Uttar Karnataka and the entire rest of Karnataka. They always felt that we are away from Bangalore. We don't have Bangalore here. We are not getting that kind of focus here. The entire state politics is run by a set of builders or the people who are from the Bangalore area, the MLAs. So they run the show in the state. So you need to give some importance, particularly North Uttar Karnataka. They deserve. You need to give regional importance. That is why the people will feel more involved in the governance. They'll feel more valued, and also it would be a responsibility for these leaders to deliver to the promises. Because if you're made, if say for example Satish Jarakiroli is made a deputy chief minister, his responsibility increases. He will feel that moral responsibility to deliver more for that particular region. He can go and ask with a bigger say. The officers will probably feel the same heat and the difference in the pressure. So I think it works in the interest of the state to have multiple chief ministers, not from the religion point of view, but clearly from the regional point of view. I think this thought needs to be respected first. This thought needs to be debated. I'm glad that you have taken this up, Deepak, in a prime time debate now. And I think the people also need to express to the leaders that yes, you need to give multiple deputy chief minister. It's a big state. It cannot be run by one power center or one city.
I think they've expressed it, many times now. It's been a couple of years, really a couple of years. They've already expressed it quite solidly, and it looks like it's now going to echo in Delhi as well. Mr. Grover, I want to bring you in here, bring in a very neutral perspective. When you look at such demands that come in time and again, and this is not just under the Congress, we've seen such demands also stem during the time of the BJP rule too. Do you feel that the position of the deputy chief minister, is it just to serve egos of some of the politicians, or do you feel that it actually adds value in terms of the service that the government can deliver, an individual can deliver to the community, to the region?
Well, see, there is no provision in the law for, a deputy chief minister's post. It is equal to any cabinet minister's rank. It's only just a glorified title that the person gets, which, makes the ego happy and, makes the person feel a little more important than the others in the cabinet. Now, we need to understand why this demand is coming now. We've been hearing in the last couple of days about, the failure of the Congress in terms of, not having capitalized the goodwill it had earned in 2023, which seemed to have, phased out by 2024, where it could get only 9 seats. Now, clearly, there are, talks of, some shuffle in the cabinet. Some people may be removed, some people may be elevated. That talk is already on in the political corridors. So clearly, people are now trying to defend themselves by asking for a bigger post for their caste, their community, taking the shield of the community. And that is something which is, very sad that, instead of talking about welfare of the people, entire state, they're talking about, that this community needs representation, that community needs representation as deputy CM. So clearly, it is just, the whole purpose of this debate in the political quarters is just to ensure that they do not face the axe. And that's something which, should not be done, because the Congress, one thing they should understand is that if they came on the 5 guarantees, the 5 guarantees were rolled out. And after that also, we've seen such a massive failure within, 1 year. And that is something which is very unfortunate, because, the Congress did not deliver, did not work as a team, is visible. So clearly, this is just a red herring being thrown for people to save their skin. And, this is something which may not actually see the light of the day at all. But the suggestion that the BJP spokesperson, Mr. Gurumurthy, has given, I think.
But what is it going to do for governance, for smooth functioning, and to ensure that they don't wash their dirty linen in public? That's the question that comes up, Mr. Grover. I'll go back to Mr. Nizam Foujdar. Now, several of them countered some of your points. I now, of course, allow you to counter each one of them. Mr. Gurumurthy had a few things to say. I feel Anurag also did say some valid aspects. But one thing that I want to really add here, Mr. Foujdar, is that don't you see concerns when you have these sort of requests that repeatedly come in of internal issues that could simmer once again? Because this is something that the Congress has had to deal with in the past. And of course, every government deals with certain internal dissidents. But now, after what happened in the election, Mr. Kharge made a very important point, Priyank Kharge there. He said that ministers should introspect on how much they could contribute to the party and the leaders in the recently held Lok Sabha election. Has that happened? And instead, now going for a more plump position, what does that, how do you really read that?
See, I think Mr. Priyank Kharge has told it very clearly, very nicely. The articulation is great. But I have a quick suggestion for the BJP, especially for Mr. Anand. He said we need to have 4 or 5 DCMs. 10 years of Modi government's failure, I have a beautiful suggestion. Let's have 5 deputy PMs. One in the north, one in the south, one in the east, west, and the center. And you know what? I think Modi government, which has terribly failed in the administration, they have increased the debt of the nation by about 7-folds, which is about 400 crores.
Nizam, please see what you're doing in Karnataka before
hold on.
hold your thought.
तुम्हारे नेता को कुछ आता नहीं है, इसीलिए मैं बता रहा हूँ. Listen.
Mr. Gurumurthy, let him complete. Let him complete.
You dump yourself.
Mr. Gurumurthy, let him complete.
I'm telling for the better government.
Mr. Foujdar, go ahead.
Which is such a huge government. Listen. Anand, hold on. You can counter me. Anand, you can counter me. Modi has failed as a prime minister. Let's have 5 deputy PMs. No, listen. It's your suggestion. I'm just articulating your suggestion. Hold on. तुम्हारा लीडर फेल हो गया. मोदी गवर्नमेंट से एनडीए गवर्नमेंट हो गया. Listen, Anand, hold on. Anand, relax.
Okay, listen. Congress party has become a joke.
Anand, I'll tell you.
Okay, Anand, I think we should allow Mr. Foujdar to make his point, and we have enough time. You can come back and counter him. Let's give him some time. He's trying to draw a comparison. When you said representation is important as far as region, he's trying to just say, well, it can happen in the country as well. Okay, you made that point, Mr. Foujdar. Let's come back to Karnataka now. You made that point.
Arey Anand, ho gaya, relax. Listen, I'm telling.
Hold on,
Listen,
Mr.
Anand,
Anand
you
Gurumurthy,
can't
hold
speak to
on.
me like this. Listen, hold
Mr.
on.
Gurumurthy, please hold on. Let Mr. Foujdar complete. He's speaking after a long duration. Hold on.
One in the north, south, east, west, and the central. Let us go by your suggestion. The suggestion is really great. Listen to me. Let us have 5 prime ministers. Let us have 5 deputy prime ministers. Your governance has failed.
Whether he has an answer for Karnataka.
Okay, Mr. Gurumurthy. Okay, I request Mr. Gurumurthy to hold on.
You asked me a
Okay.
question, I need to answer.
Okay.
You asked me a question, I need to answer. I will not let you speak. No, I will answer your question.
Okay, Mr. Foujdar. Okay.
Let me finish.
Mr. Nizam Foujdar, let me ask you a question to put an end to this.
Deputy Prime Minister.
Are you against the 5 or the 3 deputy chief minister rule, Mr. Foujdar?
No, listen.
Okay, hold on.
Mr.
Mr. Gurumurthy, if you could just hold on for a minute. Mr. Foujdar, if you could just hold on for a minute. We heard your point that you tried to make, that, well, the Prime Minister can do the same thing. You can have representations from different parts of the country, east, west, north, south. Well, I understood what you're saying, but is that sarcasm where you're coming from? You're disagreeing with what the BJP said about Karnataka? Is that something that you say in Karnataka right now there's no need for more deputy chief ministers?
It is interesting. He wants better governance. Let him use a model of his own idea. Let us have 5 deputy prime ministers in the country. But let me listen, Anand bhai, listen. You have lost your game. I'm saying, as a Congress party, we believe that we have a chief minister, we have a deputy CM, and we have a group of ministers which are doing a fabulous job. What I'm only saying is, if you are so bought up by the idea of
well, they may be doing a fabulous job, Mr. Foujdar, but why, when they are coming out and making these requests repeatedly, and then they abided by what the High Command said as to wait till the elections get over, then we'll look at these options. Now, when they're coming out after the elections and saying, well, our communities are looking forward to this, can the Congress make way for them or not is a question that also comes up. Now, while of course BJP had another aspect to say that representation among regions is something that's important, also ensuring that your leaders, your ministers are kept happy and the communities also are kept happy. Is that not important at this point in time? Or do you feel that's irrelevant because it doesn't work anyway?
I strongly feel you need to give social justice. We need to have a social balance when it comes to the cabinet. We need to have the proper representation of people from the point of view of different communities as a cabinet. The chief minister is doing a good job. The deputy CM, who is the KPCC president, is also giving enough support to him to make sure the governance in Karnataka is taken care. But if you're just saying that to appease one community or 2 communities or 5 communities, I don't think so. It really brings an administrative advantage. It may appease. But in the same argument, I'm saying, let us have 5 deputy prime ministers. Let us see how Mr. Modi
But your ministers are not saying we'll do better governance. They are saying that they are openly saying, well, give it to the community that we come from. Give it to the region that we come from. So they are not coming out and saying, well, we will do better governance with the deputy chief minister's position.
Who is not saying? Who is not saying
very clearly telling we have a very bad.
No, Mr. Zamir Ahmad is clearly saying. Mr. Zamir Ahmad there clearly says it's our community that's hoping that we get this position.
See, let me tell you, people within the party can have multiple demands. Our ecosystem allows people to speak up. Our ecosystem and the party forum allows people to put their demands forward. When it comes to the people as the whole of Karnataka, or it comes from the point of view of the people of a different one community or many communities, they have their freedom. They have their they have the entire, it's an open democratic place. They have the authority. They have the rights to speak up. Whether it is going to be agreed.
All right,
not
Mr. Foujdar, the Congress believes that within the Congress there is enough space for dissent. They can express their opinion, their concerns, but it's the High Command that will take the final call. But, now these voices that are growing, whether they'll become a bane for the Congress in the days to come is the question that comes up. I'm thanking all our panelists for joining us on this quick debate. The urban debate on the other side coming up on Mirror Now. Don't go anywhere.